First of all, I would like to thank the people here for their kind collaboration. We should be connected to the United States, Canada and Italy. There are some friends of ours who should be in contact with us and who are attending the conference. I will try to be as brief as possible because we are already late on the agenda. My name is Vigna. I'm working as a heart surgeon and I've been interested in this technology for a quite long time. Can we move to the second slide, please? We know that unfortunately over the last 30 years death rate for cancers has been increasing and we need to make a deep change somehow. That is the current situation in Italy. As you can see, figures are particularly shocking and you can see that from 1970 to 2009, after peak increase during the 90s, 2009 levels are similar to 1970s ones. That is the difference between men and women, but you will find all information on my website. That is a statistic that we made out of 100,000 inhabitants from 0 to 74 years old, which is generally the standard age group used for statistics. And as you can see, from 1970 to 2009, there has not been a relevant reduction in death rate. On the contrary, death rate has increased compared to 1970. Here you find some particular cancers and some figures taken from official statistics. This is the stomach cancer that hopefully is death rate for stomach cancer is reducing. That is death rate for colon cancers. As you can see, there has been an increase until 2000. But now the death rate is decreasing, and the reason is that some Italian regions are performing a early screening to detect colon cancers. That is the trend as for prostate cancer. In 1970 that was the level, whereas this is the level in 2005, even if this datum is not very up to date. Next, please. That is breast cancer. As you can see, in 1970 this was the death rate around 20 out of 100,000 women, and this death rate has increased until 1990, and in 1990 screening started, not in all Italian regions but in some of them, and this screening led to some positive results because 10 years afterwards death rate for breast cancer has been reducing thanks to prevention and to early screening as well, mammography in particular. I have taken some data. You can see Emilia-Romagna and Abruzzo, two Italian regions, and data. The meaningful data are the following. In 1970 the death rate was at that level, then the death rate increased until the 1990, then Emilia-Romagna started to perform screening and the death rate has decreased. This did not occur in Abruzzo, and you can see that the death rate for breast cancer has been increasing. This is a very shocking slide. You see Lombardy and Calabria, a comparison between these two regions. In 1970, women from Calabria had the risk of around 10, whereas in Lombardy women had the risk of 25, around 25, to develop breast cancer, always out of 100,000 inhabitants. So basically, what does this slide say? The gap between Lombardy and Calabria is particularly meaningful because women from Calabria were in 1970 much more protected for a series of reasons I'm not going to explain than women from Lombardy. But what happened then? Lombardy started in 1990 to perform a screening to detect breast cancer, and as you can see, the trend inverted, and in 2009 the figure is 24.68. Unfortunately, nothing has been, or little has been done in Calabria, and the figure from 10 passed to 18.52. So if nothing is done in Calabria, probably women from Calabria who were in a more positive situation will unfortunately have a higher risk of developing breast cancer, because no screening is performed there, and these figures will be increasing in the future. The same goes for Lazio and Campania, two other Italian regions.